It's the NFL on EA Sports, and there you get a look at Paycor Stadium on the banks of the Ohio River in Cincinnati. With fall around the corner, football is back, America, and we're underway on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Off the bootleg, Underwood. And this intercepted on the first play of the game. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six for a Steeler touchdown. So a big defensive play there on the opening drive, no less, as they make the interception and bring it back for the score.
And I think that's a signal for how this defense wants to play. They want to be disruptive, and you know they're going to take some chances.
Well, sometimes it can burn you, but right there, it paid off. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. They had the auspicious beginning to the season, a first drive turnover. Now they'll try again here, 1st and 10. And he'll maybe get it back to the 25 here on the first play, but no more than that. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. To throw, Underwood. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
Well, that's absolutely going to fire this defense up. They made it their mission to deny that completion, and they came through with a nice hit and knocked it incomplete.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Looking to throw. Underwood. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
2 drives won't tell the story of this game, but you absolutely have to like how this defense has played thus far. They have yet to allow this offense to get untracked in this one.
The Bengals bring out their punter now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. Taken from just outside the 30. 8 yards on the return following a punt of 41. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Throwing to start the drive. Jones under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Henry To'oTo'o gets him for a loss of 5. He is so tough to handle on the blitz, and that's Exhibit A. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Back to throw. Jones. And a quick throw here that's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down.
I know some guys, they love to start the year off with a deep shot downfield, trying to begin things with a home run ball. That might be the more exciting option, but I think that this was the smarter play.
Now a first carry here for their running back. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. That one good for 37 yards. There was a great article in the paper yesterday about how he likes to run angry. Plays like that, you can feel it, can't you?
As long as he doesn't drive angry, we're okay. Because when he's on the field, that anger works for him. It fuels him, it powers him, and the end result runs like that.
Right back to him on first down. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. A gain of 3, second down.
It went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Now, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
Seven yards left for second down. Ball at the 10. Now they'll run. Here comes the rookie from Michigan State. And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5.
Not a ton of room available on that one, but he made use of what space was available and gained decent yardage.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. On 3rd and 2, Jones. And it's caught. And in for the Steelers' touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown. And the Steelers add 6 to their lead. Good throw there, and I don't want to blow it too out of proportion, but he looks a lot more comfortable in his second season.
You can tell he put the work in the offseason, and what I mean by that is understanding the playbook. Not just the plays and how to execute them, but how to do it against a variety of defenses. Also understands his team better, what they can and cannot do. You can see the confidence rising in him as he plays.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. They're still in search of an initial first down as they come up here 1st and 10. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game? Maybe establish the run. I think they're trying to do that.
Now I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
On 2nd down, it's Griffin, and he's got a Bengals first down as he's got this up to the 40-yard line.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
On 1st and 10, Underwood. Quick hitter here, it's complete. Calling a gain of 3 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Up the middle they go. Griffin looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6.
Brandon, you're a big lover of music. How about what you just saw there? This is what I call playing the piano for a defensive lineman. The ability to move laterally up and down the line of scrimmage. How about the way he just flowed and got to the outside part of the field and made that play?
Now a 3rd and 6. Looking to throw. Underwood. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. Now he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. The previous play, they barely got back to the line of scrimmage. Now they pick up over 30 yards. 13-0 is the score after 1 on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter from Cincinnati. It's the Bengals with the football here. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now a handoff up the middle. It's Griffin, and nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
This a 2nd and 8. Back to throw. Underwood. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Tyler. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the 1st. A nice completion there for the 1st down. And, Charles, you think about the quarterbacks of recent vintage that have been thrust into action week 1. It's no guarantee of future success, but we sure have seen some good ones.
We certainly have, partner. How about Joe Burrow with the Bengals in 2020?
And that's a touchdown, but hold on. There is a flag down on the field. We'll have to see what this is about. So obviously they will decline the penalty there, and the result is 6 points. Extra point attempt here still to come. And that'll make it 13-7. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Up the middle they go. It's Collier. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature in the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
A nickel look now for the Bengals as they try to stop him here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Jones. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he will have a Steelers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, a lot of times when you get a manageable 3rd down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for him, picking up the 1st down.
Here we go. Packers 50. Packers 50.
Now Jones throwing on first down. That one complete. It's tanked down. And he's going to be taken down right at the 40-yard line. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last two plays.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 right at the 40. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Ball on the 40 now. Here's a 2nd down and 9. Off play action. Jones. He throws it on the move but can't connect as that falls incomplete. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different no matter what you do in practice. You can't simulate it, right? So your decision making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is 3rd down. Back to throw. Jones. Dancing to his left. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
And I feel like my man, Old Mo, momentum might be changing jerseys right now. How about what they just got done? They scored a touchdown their last drive. Now here's a 3 and out. Maybe momentum's getting ready to creep to the other sideline.
And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. And now it's a 2-score game at 9, 16-7. So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
And the returner down to a knee, and this will come out to the 30-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And, partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Looking to throw. Underwood. Oh, a leap, and he will make the catch. And he'll be touched down to the end, but a big play on that one.
Well, he reminded us that he was a 1,000-yard receiver a year ago as he starts off week 1 picking up right where he left off. He told us at the end of the preseason he was primed for a big year. He just gave us excellent evidence of his belief.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So apparently some grabbing of the jersey there on the O-line.
Yeah, just look in the interior, and that's where the penalty occurred.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Back to throw. Underwood. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. Call it a gain of 12, but of course not a first down due to the previous penalty.
Another completion there. We think about the draft back in the spring. He was selected, obviously, the #1 overall pick. There's great money with that, but Charles, I would think maybe an extra burden too, or is that not that big of a deal at all?
It actually is in the beginning of his career, an added burden, but it's one of those things that if you play well, it becomes something that justifies why you were taken #1.
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going to go down.
Jermaine Johnson credited with that sack.
Yeah, some real defensive resistance there, saying not so fast to a good drive. They had marched to the end zone the last time out.
A tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds.
I like what they tried to do there, tried to hit him with something quick, get the ball in his hands, and hope he could make some yards after the catch and pick up a first down. Weren't able to do so on that play.
So 4th and 15, but the offense is staying out there to go for it. Now they'll throw here out of the gun.
And he is going to have the Bengals first down, and that was something else. A big pickup on 4th and long to give them a new set of downs.
Brandon, I have one word for you after that completion for a first down.
Lucky?
Analytics.
Well, the analytics say punt the football there.
So we're changing the analytics as we go, right? What a big-time play for them, and really took a big-time chance.
Yeah, big-time first half chance. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. And his kick is good. And that will do it for this first half. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They'll start on the ground here on first down.
50 yards rushing for him now to this point.
If you're in the offensive huddle, you're smiling after that play because you've certainly got them guessing now. 2nd and short, could they just hand it off for another big gain? Or did they take advantage of this spot to take a big shot downfield?
This 2nd and 4.
Looking to throw. Jones.
Now throw on the run, but that's going to be incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Operating from the gun, Jones.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
That third down conversion good for 23.
Normally on third down and short yardage, you're thinking to throw to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Now a handoff up the middle. Benedict. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Operating from the gun, Jones.
That throw taken in by Jamison Williams.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there.
Come on. Hey,
up the middle they go. It's Collier.
And a good-looking run there as he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18-yard line.
10 more there and another first down. They've got the lead early here in the third quarter, and runs like that are how they established that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the second half.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. From the gun, they'll try to run it.
And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
2nd down and 8.
Operating from the gun, Jones. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Well, that one was all about the defender making life difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. He ends up forcing the incompletion.
For play number 9 on this drive. This is 3rd down and 8. Back to throw. Jones. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. 5 yards on the screen, but that'll take us to 4th down.
The key to any screen play is all in the deception. That means everyone on the offensive side of the ball. But someone gave it up because that one wasn't very well concealed. And the defense able to rally to him and hold him for just a short gain.
Yeah, Mike Tomlin going to roll up the sleeves here and say, let's go for it on 4th. Looking to throw. Jones. And he's got it. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on 4th down to bring up 1st and goal.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, you just need the tip of the ball to cross the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with 1st and goal.
Here we go. Panther 60. Panther 60.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. A touchdown run there from a yard out. And the Steelers take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Now Mike Tomlin says, let's go ahead and go for 2. They'll try and throw for it. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. And he takes it all the way back. It's a pick 2, if you will, as that play backfires in a big way. Here's the Steelers kick team as they'll boot this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. Well, the opposition laid down the challenge and opening drive touchdown here to start the second half. And, Charles, now you feel like this group needs to get an answer because this all of a sudden is a 2-score game.
Yeah, you're right about that. What was a small, manageable spread to overcome, a little bit more daunting now. I think you're exactly right. Pressure is on because you don't want them getting the ball back with a chance to really extend this lead out.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. They'll keep it on the ground. Griffin. And some room to run now. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 44 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
2nd and 10, 3rd quarter of the season opener. Throwing again. Underwood. He finds his man, complete. It's Tyler. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 36. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. Throwing on 1st down. Underwood. Wide open receiver, complete. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. 12 more yards there and another 1st down. A nice throw right there, and these fans getting their first look at their QB1 of the future. And I'd imagine it's got to be a big plus for him to get his first start here in front of that home crowd.
I know there's a school of thought about getting your first start away from home so you don't have the extra pressure of that crowd behind you. But I say ride the wave, embrace it. Go ahead and play to that level, and I think it's going to benefit him in the long run.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
With a rookie quarterback out there, you're definitely going to find out how he handles adversity because this one so far hasn't gone according to plan. He's got to fight through it and show him what he's made of.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. They'll look to throw again. And that one incomplete. They try to sneak in a deep ball with the clock running down, but to no avail as time will expire on this 3rd quarter of play. Back now in Cincinnati. It's the Bengals. They've got the football, but they trail here as we get rolling in quarter number 4. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a 1-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
This is caught. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5.
So that a nice throw, but it hasn't really turned out to be the grand debut that many had hoped for. His team's down double digits. So what have you seen, CD?
About what I expected, really, because for a youngster making his first start in the NFL, I kind of expected to see these things. A few bumps.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. A great effort there, with his first career touchdown in his first career game. And the Bengals have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. Point after, right down the middle. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. The kicking team out now for the Bengals as they'll send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. Their lead back down to 1 score after the touchdown a moment ago. 1st down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
And that's just an ideal run to start this drive because they're in full ball control mode now. So if you keep ripping off 7, 8, 9 yards of carry, you're going to have a great chance of finishing off this game.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. Now a handoff up the middle. Benedict. That one a 1st down pickup of 8.
And this is exactly what you're looking to do offensively. If you can start stringing some runs together like this, you'll keep churning out 1st downs, and that's going to put you in a great position to carry this one home.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Throwing Jones. And that is incomplete here.
And when you're in a 1-score game in the 2nd half, now's not the time to force the football into places where you shouldn't. And that's a smart decision to just get that one out of there.
Second and 10.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll be pretty well stopped in his tracks. Give him a yard up to the 42. And in this situation with the lead, 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
And that is incomplete. Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a 1st down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. A penalty accepted, and they move the ball forward. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. And he fires one incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw again, Underwood. And he comes back with one complete. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. Over 100 yards receiving for him now in the opener, and it's a 1st down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Griffin. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Not a lot of running room there, not a place to make a cut and kind of exit out because they had everything bottled up. Looked to me like the linemen were taking on their blocks really well and giving up no creases.
Here's a 2nd and 7. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. Here's 2nd down. Back to throw. Underwood. And a quick throw here that's complete. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Well, they have had no answer for this connection all night long.
They just have to think in a 2-minute situation, that's got to be a concentration lapse. You know they're going to go back to him with the game that he's been having.
Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now. Up the middle they go. Griffin. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. But they'll come up now. This is 2nd and long. He'll look to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
And this is obviously a spot where you lean on your stars. Get the ball to them in open space and let them do what they do.
This is 1st and 10. Back to throw. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a nonstop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now, because I think they're going to try and get several plays off in quick succession if they can.
He's got a man. It's his fullback.
I'm a little surprised right here. They've got 3 timeouts left. The clock's running down, and they aren't using them. Those timeouts do you no good at home. Use them now.
Well, this one's had a season's worth of thrills already, and it's still week 1. Here's 3rd down now. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And they're going to have themselves another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 27-yard line. The Bengals going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game. Well, this offense still has the 1 timeout here, remember. 1st and 10.
He's back to throw. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And incomplete on the deep ball. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does. And in the second quarter, he may very well run by him. But in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
Back to throw. Oh, and that's going to sabotage their comeback plans. It is intercepted. And the Steelers have just about sewn up this football game. Defensively that time, they were in zone coverage. As a rookie QB, what lesson can you learn there?
Well, understand this. You saw zone in college, and the defensive backs reacted, but they don't react like they do on this level. So when they're in zone and they see the ball coming to them, they'll react at least a half a second faster. You've got to know where you want to go with the ball and be decisive with it. Otherwise, the end result can be something you don't like.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. We've got to have two hands on the football here as they run on first down. This was not just the opener of a brand new season, but this was a division game here in week one. And to come through with a 1-0 start against a division opponent gives you a little something extra heading forward for the rest of the season.
Yeah, let's pile it all into one game, right? Opening the season, and you open within the division. You knew the motivation was going to be there on both sidelines. One just executed better and earned the win.
So for the Steelers, they start the season with a great win on the road here in the Thursday opener. And they'll get a few extra days to savor this one before they take on the Cleveland Browns. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Baltimore Ravens. So that's a wrap. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. From Cincinnati, good night, everybody.
Today, it's the National Football League.
final weekend of the summer. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are as we are off and running on EA Sports. And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. They'll be led out by their quarterback, a second-round pick back in April's draft.
And I can't imagine that week one was anything except a whirlwind for this young man. A few bright spots in the opener, but as expected, a few rookie mistakes as well. Let's find out if he learned from them, and will show some progress and improvement starting here in week 2.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. This defense for the Steelers, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. And just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he's going to go backward. They get him behind the line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Certainly not the start they were looking for offensively, coming off that loss last week on the road.
And they didn't do their job. They're going to feel poorly about that. But what they're going to do is look at the defense and say, can you pick us up here? And let's face it, defenses can score. We've seen it, right? They can take the ball away, create a big-time opportunity. Let's see if they can get that done.
Yeah, just something to jumpstart this home crowd. The Browns send out their punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Fielded at the 20. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. So holding there on the return, and that'll back him up to start the next drive.
Yeah, that's a pretty easy call right there, partner. I think when the officials look in their manual and see the expression jersey getting pulled, that's a flag coming out every time.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. The numbers for him from a week ago: 9 carries, 63 yards.
And that's just not enough carries for a running back to get loose and really feel like he's into the game, because they have to have enough volume to establish a rhythm, not just for themselves, but also to get in sync with their offensive line so they can read the blocks properly and they can execute. I expect them to get a minimum of 15 carries in this game, and the optimum number would be 20 plus.
They had 3 yards on first down, just 1 yard there. 3rd down and 6. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Here's 3rd and 6. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. It'll be a gain of 17 at a Pittsburgh first.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. The Steelers at 1-0 on the year following the win in Week 1. And this would be quite a start for them if they could win 2 straight on the road.
Yeah, the schedule makers didn't do him any favors. They gave him 2 road games right out of the gate. But the thinking on the team has to be, imagine if we win these 2 games. What a setup for the rest of the season for us.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
Good work after the catch. Going to net them 23 and a first.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. Line of scrimmage, the 24. This is 2nd and 6. Here's a give up the middle. And a short gain down to about the 33. We look at this Browns defense. They're going to be tough to throw on, no doubt. Currently ranked 3rd in the NFL against the pass.
And, hey, they were stingy in the opener. Didn't allow much of anything at all through the air. So now they come into week 2 saying, hey, let's see if we can do even better. Let's go ahead and get to that number 1 spot.
Here's Jones from the gun on 3rd down. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a 1st down.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's 2nd down. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Oh, it's intercepted. A drive killer there. And a terrific return there. They're finally able to corral him down near the 11-yard line. So that a free 15 yards.
And it's always a tough one as a defender because a lot of the penalties that you commit, pass interference, holding, when they happen, you actually know what you're doing. But a face mask penalty, a lot of times is inadvertent, but it still costs you the same amount of yardage.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Allen going to be hit and met at the line of scrimmage. They get him down at the 3. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. This is kind of one of those in-between plays here, Charles, on 3rd and goal from the 2 or the 3 in that area. What do you dial up?
Something quick hitting. You don't have the time for something that develops slowly. It's got to be right at them if you're going to run the football. And if you're going to throw it, something quick, get it out of your hands in a hurry.
That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. Cameron Dicker on now to try the field goal. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And his kick is indeed good. And the Browns are out to a 3-0 lead. So golden field position there squandered as they can muster only a field goal.
Yeah, you were gifted a 1st and goal situation, but I have to give credit to the defense. They were brought out in a really tough situation, so give them credit for holding them to 3. That's a pretty nice accomplishment.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. Their 2nd drive here, the ballgame, Charles. Remember last time they threw the interception, but the defense held up. It bent a little but didn't break, only giving up the 3 points.
Yeah, obviously they left some points on the tip.
That's caught inside the 20.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he gets all the way down inside the 20-yard line. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. 55 yards. Plenty of shouts from this crowd as they watch the replay. They want a challenge, and they're going to get one. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. So the challenge there does not go their way. This will indeed remain a completed pass. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Now a handoff up the middle. Benedict. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal.
Not too shabby for his first carry of the game. That's exactly what most teams are looking for. A really good change of pace back.
Here we go. 60 Eagles.
They'll try to run this one in. And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A great play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Steelers have taken the lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Here's the Steelers kick team as they'll boot this one away. The football going back over now to the Cleveland Browns. Now, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That's a good way to start the drive, 17 yards and a 1st down.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the 1st down.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. So the completion good for 6 yards, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. And he's taken down at the 50 after a short gain of 2.
But that's all about doing the dirty work right there defensively. 2nd and short yardage, that's all about plugging those gaps, not giving a running back a crease to run through, and has a nice job to hold him just a couple and force a 3rd down.
Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Shrugs him off. It'll be a net of 40 yards following a punt of 44. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on second down.
From the 22, Jones. His throw incomplete. Trying to find Jamison Williams. And it's third down. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. After the delay, they're backed up even further for third and long. Looking to throw. Jones. Pressure comes, and down he goes. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. So a good punt, but a solid 12-yard return. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. Throwing to start the drive. Floyd. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. Over the middle, open is Thomas. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. Well, they had a gain of 10 last time, now a gain of 20 here. Well, this offense hoping to avoid the 0-2 start. They trail, but they've got a 1st and 10 here. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22. Sorry, Coach, put a pin in that. We are going to move right on to the third quarter here. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. And I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right, he's pretty much been completely neutralized. 2nd and 6. Up the middle they go. Collier, and he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. 12 yards that time, and a Pittsburgh first.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Jones now. On 1st and 10, it's complete to Williams. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
Working with the lead, trying to get to 2-0. Here's 1st and 10.
Now a handoff up the middle. Benedict. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Operating from the gun, Jones. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they're going to have another 1st down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 19. 12 yards that time, and a Pittsburgh 1st.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Myles Garrett able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
And you get the feeling, Charles, yeah, he's got the 2 sacks now, but he may get more here. We've still got a quarter and then some to go.
And the way that he is playing this game, it reminds me of one of the best golfers in the world who can use every club in the bag and make a great shot. That's what he's doing with his pass rush moves right now, showing a little bit of everything. They have no way of stopping him.
And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4.
Sometimes with the running game, you just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. Operating from the gun, Jones. Flushed out right.
Right side to Williams.
And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds. And his kick is good. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the 3rd quarter. On 1st down, Floyd. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And they're able to get this one across the 35. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down.
And it's pretty evident that this passing game has been frustrated so far. They haven't really moved the ball the way we might have expected, but this is a good pickup here for the 1st down.
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Well, if you look where that play starts, O-line versus D-line, that was a battle won by the D-line.
Yeah, and oftentimes it's won by quickness, off the ball. Who can handle the guy across from them best? On that play, the defensive line did exactly that.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down.
Flying in for that sack, Aiden Hutchinson.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. The
Browns send out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. .44-yard punt, return of 9. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Steeler offense set to regain possession. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it'll be second down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And this is the worry because sometimes you can get a little too predictable in spots like this. You know you're going to run the ball, but they know you're going to run the ball as well. And now you look up and you're staring at an important third down.
And he will have a Steelers first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8. Hasn't been his best afternoon on the ground, far from it, but a critical third down conversion.
This afternoon just got better. All right, you're exactly right. It hasn't been his best in terms of yardage, but that run there, that's the one your teammates look to you and go, okay, that's what we want from you. That's what we need. Now they have a chance to keep moving forward and a chance to win the game.
To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, but a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a first down.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing in a situation when they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well. As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Now Jones. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down. Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. They'll wind up losing a couple yards here on the play. And that's going to bring up a fourth down. And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. And they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. So that one, CD, going to make the road back a lot more difficult.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. You know they were praying on the other sideline for a miss because now, as you pointed out, a very difficult road. Down 2 scores. You don't just need a touchdown. You need a chain of events to go your way. You've got to score, somehow get the ball back, and score again. The odds of that happening, not great in your favor.
Ready to take over again on offense. Out comes Cleveland. And the complexion of this one has changed a fair amount. That last field goal made it a 2-score game, so they need to get points out of this drive relatively quickly. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down. A good start there on this fourth quarter drive. They need more of what we just saw.
Down a couple of scores. There's still time, all right? It's not like, they're totally out of it, but they have to score quickly, and they're going to need some big-time plays, chunk plays, explosive plays. They need yardage on each snap.
And right now, defensively, you love that, don't you? I mean, you'll give them that play.
And they'll take it every single time. This is almost like nickeling and diming it downfield, and too much time's going to run off the clock.
Here comes second down at 5. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's got a first down there after a gain of about 12 as the clock will stop right now for the 2-minute warning. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Here's first down. Back to throw. Floyd. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. All 3 timeouts remain, but they've got to score quick. It's 1st and 10. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. The Browns trying to get back and set quickly here. Time ticking away. And that is taken in by Njoku. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Now the question is obvious. Do you try to kick the field goal right here knowing that you need 2 scores? I would be thinking about it if I were on that sideline. Get the field goal now, try and get the touchdown later.
On 2nd down, they'll run it here. And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter. For the extra point, Cameron Dicker. And he puts it through there within 3. It's 13-10. So that drive in total 8 plays. So still a little over 40 seconds to go. Time enough to put a drive together if they can get this onside kick. And it's the Steelers that come up with it. And that should just about do it. The risk reward of the onside kick. When you don't get it, the risk comes out to play. And here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play.
And now off to the races down the right side. And he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it.
Well, I guess when you look back on it, it was just a matter of time until he popped a big one like that. And, you know, at halftime, you and I discussed it. They'd done a nice job on him in the first half. But there were a couple of occasions where it felt like he might wiggle out of traffic and take it to the house. Finally here in the second half, that got done.
A try here for the extra point. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. So they hit pay dirt on just one play. The long run, the scamper, and a very nice scamper into the end zone for the touchdown. Here's the Steelers kick team as they'll boot this one away. So now the Browns down 20-10, 35 seconds to go. It's been a struggle to score all day, and now they need to do it twice here late to have a chance. Throwing to start the drive. Floyd completes to Njoku. And he's going to pick up a first down here as that clock continues to run. Now a timeout called for by the offense, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds left to go. On 1st and 10, Floyd right back to Njoku. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Here's 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Floyd, this short pass into the hands of Njoku. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end. A guy that you can line up anywhere. In the slot, out wide, in tight. Doesn't really matter, because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. And they don't get the reception. Incomplete. So now they're down to 17 seconds remaining. From the gun on 3rd down, Floyd. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. The Browns will quickly use their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. Throwing on first down. Floyd. This is the tight end, Njoku. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And even playing on the road, the class of this ball club just too much to overcome.
Yeah, deep down, I think even the fans knew how this one was going to